Look up the word crazy in the dictionary, and you might just find an asterisk beside the definition that says, listen to the Subiquitous podcast featuring Sue Duffield, and you'll find out what crazy means. Sue's travelogue journey of unfiltered stories, impossible miracles, and faith-filled fun will be revisited right here. So buckle up and let's get going with this humorous travelogue of an unfiltered saint, Subiquitous.
I always wondered about cooking shows for years, as we watched them on, early days of just PBS. That's all you could find it. But now on HGTV and TikTok and everywhere, all these great cooking shows. And do you feel like one day, Jeff, that we're going to go back and listen to this podcast and realize not only can we view it, now we'll be able to smell it?
That's a possibility.
Your mother was the queen of cooking shows.
Julia Child, the Galloping Gourmet, Graham Kerr.
Oh.
I never watched more than 15 seconds of any of those shows, but yet, how did I pull those names out?
I don't know.
I pulled them out because every day my mother had those shows on the television. She had especially the Galloping Gourmet. Came on in the afternoons just as I was coming home from school.
Oh, and all day if she could. She would be in the height of her glory to know that she could have it on demand now.
Oh my God!
To be able to go on her smartphone or her iPad.
Oh my goodness! Yes.
But one of the things I always questioned her about, especially when Graham Kerr or wherever, whoever was on the cooking broadcast at the time, when they would try to tell you in expression how it smelled, the aroma that filled the kitchen, they were trying to describe it to you. And I'd say to myself, how do you describe something that smells? I mean,
well,
I've
done it.
Well, let's just say, what about
maybe
somebody?
Not in the best of terms?
Well,
but
that's true.
I have done it.
I know it smelled like something. But anyway, what are your favorite smells, Jeffrey?
Oh, you're going to laugh at this. Maybe you know this, but you're.
I think I may. Can I take a guess? We have
not.
No,
because that doesn't let me tell them. Because
Okay.
you take a guess.
Because we probably did it on a previous episode.
No, I don't remember doing
Okay,
that.
all right.
But anyway,
Okay, go ahead.
I have several.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Starting with
Yes.
new car smell.
Well, there's no doubt. I knew that was one.
Yeah, that
Okay.
is. That's why I don't go to car dealers.
Well, it's an addiction for you. Yes.
It is. I smell that smell, and then the next thing I know, I'm signing papers.
Yeah, don't do it.
And so I don't do it anymore.
Right.
Because it hurts, later.
So we buy a pre-owned car, and we buy that.
Buy the spray.
Buy the spray that says
Sure.
new car spray.
Sure. Gives you the fix. I mean, whatever. That would probably be the number one. Here's where it gets weird, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
All right. For me to go in, and it has nothing to do with it. It's not related to the fact it's another car thing, but
It's a guy thing.
it must be.
It is a guy thing.
I love the smell of going in a tire store.
That's what I was going to say, because I actually admit with my hand in the air that I actually like the smell of a tire store as well. I don't understand it.
No.
It brings out my testosterone in my body. I don't know what it is.
Well, that's an accomplishment. and believe it or not, I have more.
Oh, is it still car related?
Not this one.
Oh, okay.
Not this one.
All right.
And you don't smell it much anymore because of computers and the way everything has changed.
Oh, I know what this is.
But I used to love to go into the printer's office where we had our album jackets printed.
Okay.
And to smell the different four colors, a 4-color offset process, as they used to call it, of printing. And you could smell that ink.
Oh,
that's right up there with new cars.
yeah, that's not one of my. That's like walking now into a UPS store. You ever notice that?
I've not smelled
the
it.
Staples part of the store where they do the printing. That's not one of my favorites.
Yeah, it does it for me. Yeah.
Well-
So anyway, that's some weird stuff right there. But automobiles, showrooms, and actually not the showroom, but the car, just to sit in the car.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's
Tire
right
stores and printing presses.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what I love? I love the smell of a fireplace. I love the smell of wood burning.
Okay.
I love the smell of a campfire burning. Mm-hmm. And occasionally, in my dreams, and this is kind of weird. This is out there. This is a little smell-o-vision. It's a little out there.
Quite a bit.
But occasionally, I think in my dreams about campfires. I don't know why, and I actually can smell it in my dream.
It's probably because they constitute a wonderful memory for you.
Oh, well, that's exactly where we're going to go with this smell-o-vision episode.
Yeah, because you did a lot of, you did significant amount of camping, I guess.
And there were wonderful experiences, and you're absolutely right, how God has created our olfactory lobes.
Wow, that's
and
impressive.
It's connected to the portion of the brain that brings us great joy. Mm-hmm. And so when you smell something, it can truly give you that, that reminiscent feeling again, that you're actually at the campground again.
Memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, besides the campfire, I actually like the smell of men's cologne. That's weird.
Why is that weird? I
Well,
mean, they spend a lot of money in developing
I don't want
smells
to wear it. I don't want to wear it.
No, it's not a matter of wear. No, and I like women's cologne.
That's nice.
I don't wear it, but I like to smell it on women. Now, even that sounds bad.
Yeah, that
but
doesn't sound too good.
Well, I don't mean that in a bad way.
No,
it's like anything else. When something smells good, you enjoy being around it. Correct?
But you're right. They do these amazing tests and these whole craziness on what attracts women and what attracts men.
There are some types of cologne.
Right.
Perfume, excuse me. Cologne is for men. Perfume is for women.
Well, no, women wear cologne. We wear cologne.
Well, why do they call it perfume?
Well, because perfume is the actual, it's very expensive. Cologne is more maybe the watered down version. I don't know.
Good try, Kimosabi.
Well, I'll show you one of my bottles. It says cologne on it. It doesn't say perfume.
Anyhow, there are ladies.
Perfume is highly concentrated.
Okay, let's go with this. Yeah. Let's go with this. There are ladies' fragrances.
That's nice.
Would you agree with that term?
That's nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are ladies' fragrances that are very pleasant to me.
Yes. And so much
and there are some that are not.
Right.
There are some that is like, oh
repulsive.
My goodness.
Oh, I know. Remember, though, I bought that one Hervé Leger?
I got a confession to make about Hervé Villechaize, as I called it.
No, it's Hervé Leger.
I know, but I call it Hervé Villechaize. I have a confession to make about that. That one did not bowl me over.
Oh, no.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, all those years I wore it and you would buy it for me and you didn't like it?
It's not that I didn't like it.
Gee.
No. I didn't say that.
It didn't boil you. What did you say? It didn't
bowl me over.
Bowl
as
you
in bowling pins and bowling balls. It didn't bowl me over. No, it was nice. No.
Well, they quit making it anyway, and now you can get it for like $500 a half ounce.
Oh boy!
But we're not doing that.
Here it is. The reason I went along with it, the reason I bought it for you, is because you liked it.
Oh, and everybody else said they liked the smell on me.
It wasn't.
I'm so sorry.
It was not No, it was. You're not. You're drawing conclusions here. It was. It was not offensive like some are.
Okay.
It was. It just didn't. It wasn't anything that stood out.
All right.
Maybe.
Well,
okay?
the smell-o-vision.
But there's others. A certain friend of yours used to wear a certain fragrance.
Yes.
Back in the day.
It was a cheap drugstore brand, by the way.
Okay. The bottom line is whether it works or not.
And it was called cologne.
Okay.
It was not called perfume.
Well, they dressed it up in feminine-looking bottles or whatever.
No, it was nice.
That was one that was very noticeable to me. Maybe it was because it was cheap. I don't know.
That's probably
but it was, and it was.
And it still
I liked
is.
it.
And every time It's hard to find still, even in the cheap drugugstore version.
I've never gone
It's
looking.
called woman cologne. And every time Dawn would wear that, okay.
Yes.
All right. We were like, oh, then that smell nice. Then we could go months and months and months. And then all of a sudden somebody passed somebody and they have it on. We go, oh, is she here?
Yeah. It was
weird.
It was distinctive.
Very distinctive.
And
but it was very cheap. It wasn't expensive.
Right. And on the other side, the flip side, I wear polo.
Yes.
Happen to be wearing the red kind
I
right
like
now.
the red. They come in blue and black and green.
Yeah. Again, I say the same as your Hervé Villechaize. It's
Hervé Leger.
It smells nice when I use it, but it's nothing that knocks me over. But you like it, so as long as you like it, that's
so kind.
Well, that's the main thing.
Well, I bought, if you recall, 3 beautiful white hyacinth blooms in a cheesy yellow paper in a plastic pot once, and it's like a welcomed house guest. It was sitting on the counter, and her aroma was dancing in every crevice of the downstairs, in every corner.
Aroma? Is that what you said?
Well, it's the combination of her and aroma together.
Okay.
Aroma.
I thought someone else was in the house with us that day. Aroma. I didn't remember meeting her.
Her aroma.
Yes.
Not just in the house, but in every part of my heart and brain. And
There we
here's
go.
what you said when you walked in, and you said,
You walked into. Yeah, go ahead.
it smelled like, what did you say it smelled like?
A funeral home.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
And I
Yes,
said,
yes.
I said, it smells like Easter Sunday morning. It smells
At the
like
funeral
spring
home.
walks through Longwood Gardens and Grammy Allen's pungent perfume and Aunt Myrtle's dancing through the hallways with all 5 or 10 of her pocketbooks.
We gotta look up the definition of pungent.
It smelled like the side yard of my childhood home on Dixie Drive in Penns Grove, New Jersey.
To me, the word pungent is not a flattering
It smelled
term.
like the Philadelphia Flower Show. It smelled like black patent leather shoes. It smelled to me like the Wilmington Flower Mart in Rockford Park with the kids, Kmart's lawn and garden section. It smelled like Gangy Link's dinner table at Easter, and it also smells like my life story, I whispered to myself. However, this is what you said.
It smells like Freitag's funeral home
No,
in my hometown.
it does not. It
By
smells
the way,
like...
pungent is an adjective affecting the organs of taste or smell with a sharp,
I know.
acrid sensation,
Yeah.
penetrating, biting, or caustic.
Well,
to
that's
the
what
point
Grammy
sharp.
Allen's perfume
That's
was.
not flattering.
I know, but anyway, that's what
Okay.
the memory it brought back when
All
I'm
right, then.
smelling
Okay.
the hyacinths.
Okay.
It also smelled like runny-nosed kids laughing, Pop Link
I've
singing
never
his dumb ditty songs.
I've never smelled a runny-nosed kid that smelled like a hyacinth.
It smelled like Annie saying Pity Jesses. It also smelled like windows wide open with the stereo blaring. It smells like melted chocolate, peanut butter, eggs, week-old marshmallow peeps. It smelled like sitting in the bleachers watching David's roller hockey games or the fragrance of crescent-rolled chicken baking.
I went to David's roller hockey games and never smelled.
You're missing the point.
hyacinth.
It smelled like Phillies opening day baseball games to me. Listen,
no, you're
fresh
losing
cut
me now.
grass clippings,
No, you're losing
pot
me.
roast
No,
simmering
no,
in the
no,
crock pot, little
Nope,
Tykes
no.
plastic toys all over the yard, and my dad's Honda Goldwing in the driveway. And I think it also smelled like singing Up From the Grave He Arose, a Sunday school
Well, now
filled
I'll
with
agree with you
little
there.
baby blue Bibles and a chalkboard dust.
I'll agree with you there.
It also smelled like a Chevy convertible top-down drive on Route 47 to Cape May. 8th grade graduations and proms, little bow ties that I refused to let go of, and trips to Vineyard Lake in Michigan. It also smelled like school buses with squealing kids and brakes and skateboards and kid-built wooden ramps in the cul-de-sac. It also smelled to me like neighbors laughing while sitting on their porches. It smelled like the fresh earth, dirt, and me dressed in my hat, goggles, and mask chasing old Barry around with a wired-up weed whacker. That's what it smelled like to me. When I smell hyacinths, Jeff Duffield, it smells like the times in my life when I cried at the loss and felt my stomach wrenching while trying to sing at our dad's funeral. And it smelled like standing motionless in a florist showroom trying to pick out the right flowers for my mother's services. And yes, it even smells like losing a friend while my heart and heels sank in the soil at the cemetery. That's what hyacinths smell like to me, I whisper under my breath. And you know what you said after I say all of that?
It smells like a funeral home.
Well, yeah, you smell all that and all those flowers? Yes, I do. I smell it all. The balance, the dance, the death, the joy, and new life of a simple hyacinth, and how it can trigger incredible memories. And Jeff, I'll close out with this one. 2 Corinthians 2:14-6 says this, "But thanks be to God who always leads us in triumphal procession in Christ, and through us he spreads everywhere the fragrance of the knowledge of him. For we are to God the aroma of Christ among those who are being saved and those who are perishing. To the one we are the smell of death, to the other the fragrance of life." Isn't it neat to think of ourselves as the fragrance of the knowledge of him? That's what I want to be, Jeff. I don't want to just be a stinky tire room.
No,
I don't want to be
I wouldn't advise someone going out creating a perfume or cologne that smells like a tire store.
right, or
No.
something that smells, although they do have candles now that have that campfire smell.
I could see why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I read that verse, I thought of the perfume sprayers in the department stores and how we kind of laugh at them. They're always very smiley and pleasant as they offer you a squirt of their designer fragrance. And I think to myself, wouldn't it be great, though, if we produced the same amount of joy in people as our department store counterparts? Unfortunately, the word Christian stirs up way too many negative sentiments among people for us to even hope for such a positive response. I went through that the other day. But I do think that we could act as covert, here, you ready for this one, Jeffrey?
I'm ready.
Act as covert perfume sprayers.
Yes.
Kind of like smell-o-vision.
Which is what you're expecting this podcast to someday be.
One day we may be able to smell this podcast one day. We can view it, we can listen to it, but we can't smell it. But maybe one day we will. Who knows? But here's the thing. Do you know, most of the people that I come in contact with on a daily basis, aren't Christians. In fact, every day, Jeff knows this, it's my quest to get them to smile. Maybe a kind word, just a few of the ways that God has allowed me to bless them. I don't know. I just, every single stranger, every single person that I meet, if I can't have eye contact with them, I will either try to talk to them personally or just say something kind, and even if they're walking fast by me. If they had any clue how much God wants to bless them, but yet at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, how can I be the aroma of Christ to them today? If they only had a clue how much Jesus loves them. But in fact, I think they do know in some way, because the verse says, "To the one we are the smell of death, and to the other the fragrance of life." And every person that I come in contact with, whether it's at Dillard's or if it's at Twice Daily, which is kind of like the Wawa of the South, or wherever I am, each person responds differently. Some people want nothing to do with God, and so in turn, they subconsciously avoid me, as if to say, "You are pungent." There's that word, Jeffrey. I don't want to be that pungent smell in the kingdom. And we have seen, time after time, singers, artists, worship leaders, pastors, preachers, who give off more of a pungence in their approach than they do a fragrance. And I don't want to be that way. I want to be the fragrance of life to people through Jesus. And so I have to say to those who are searching, I am and want to be the fragrance of life. I may not wear my name tag in the sense that I go around, preaching to them like I'm a Dillard's perfume sprayer, but they do know who I am and what I stand for. And it happened just yesterday, Jeffrey, in a little boutique here in town when I walked in. The lady remembered the last time I was there, and it was almost a month ago. And she remembered as soon as I walked in. Why? Because I engaged in conversation with her. I also shared with her a little bit about the joy of living in the midst of COVID, where you can't, do anything, which, by the way, I lost my smell for a little bit. You did too when you had COVID, and it's nice to have it back. But I'm not going to wear that name tag, and I'm not going to preach, but I'm just going to let the power of his presence in my life speak. They know because they're looking for an explanation for why I'm different. They want to know, what in the world is this joy all about? And I think deep down they want to know Christ, really. They want more of the pleasant smelling aroma. They want joy. They want peace. They want a purpose for their life. They may not have that on their t-shirt that they're wearing, but they really, truly do want the fragrance of Christ in their life. And so the moral of my story is on this episode number 113, Smell-O-Vision. You ready for this? Let's spray them with the perfume of Christ so that as in the department store, they come back to get the fragrance that put a smile on their face. And Lord, make me your vessel today. Use me to fill people's lives with joy so that they will want to know more about you. And one day when we go back and we think about how technology has changed, where we can do podcasts and we can do social media like TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and God knows what else is down the pike, one day we may be able to smell this episode.
Will it smell like a new car?
Either that, or it might smell like that tire showroom that you love so much.
I even smelled that smell in the Harley dealer.
That's true.
When you would go in the parts department and the service department where they had tires. You can even smell it there. It's
that new car, new tire smell.
I guess.
And here's the thing. Think about what it's like in a Harley showroom. You have a lot of tires in there.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of tires.
New ones.
More so than you would in a car showroom.
Mm-hmm.
The cars are bigger.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't know why that made me laugh, but another thing, we've talked about this too. Don't take the opportunity, as God has given us great opportunities to share Jesus. Don't smell it up and don't stink it up. And there's another form of smell-o-vision right now that's been going on for years on, all kinds of broadcast networks where it just, you turn it off because you just can't stand the representation of Christ that is supposedly being broadcast. I am not, and I promise you this, the day somebody says that I stink it up, I'm done. I am so done. I am done with that. And I promise always, too, that I will take the message of Jesus no matter where I go, whether it's on podcasts or on live stream or our brand new album, which is a shameless plug right here. A shameless plug. The brand new album called Couch to Kitchen Favorites that just was released last week. Jeff, we've had more fun with this thing. Mm-hmm. It has been unbelievable.
Yep. It smells good, too.
By the way, and somebody asked me about the lemons on the cover.
Yes.
Okay. The lemons on the cover and the couch with us pictured on the pillow, the lemons kind of had a bad rap over the years. Lemons means, if you buy a car and somebody says it's a lemon, that's usually what?
Lemon?
Yeah, it's not a good one. It didn't make it through very well.
Well, it has a pungent smell.
That's right. But lemons are also great purifiers. And while we were just a few years ago sitting on a couch trying to figure out how we were going to make a living when all of our events were canceled and how we were going to be able to sustain our ministry here on the, not having all the external events canceled, we decided to create our own event every Thursday night. And as a result of that, I feel like we purified ourselves a little bit. And by drinking lemon water, which you absolutely do not like.
Nope.
I love it. Lemon water is good for your soul. It's good for your body. It purifies and it cleanses you, Jeffrey.
Yeah, that's what they say.
And so from then we go, here we are. Let's put Couch to Kitchen together. Let's throw some oldies. Let's throw some standards. Let's throw some fun pop songs. But let's also bring the gospel music. Let's put some original stuff on there and end with a praise and worship song. And I promise you, it's almost like a purification process for us to watch what God did using our brains and using our hearts and using the creativity that he gave us, that we wouldn't smell it up anymore.
Right.
In a right way, we are doing smell-o-vision every single day.
Does that mean we're going to smell like a printing press?
Get on SueDuffield.com, and I promise you we will have everything that you need to know about getting that new album, Couch to Kitchen Favorites, right here on SueDuffield.com and on the podcast as well. It's also available on all of the streaming networks like Spotify, Deezer, iTunes, Amazon Music, and also Apple Music. And your greatest help for us, though, through that process, as you know, you already know that the royalty scenario of all of those sites are like minimal, if we like 0.04%, something that we receive. If God uses you to bless us, then let me just say to you, we thank you. We thank you in advance, and we promise to you that we will do all that we know to do for the glory of God with our music. We will see you next week. I hope you enjoyed Smell-O-Vision. We hope we didn't smell it up for you, but in the meantime...
Still smells like a funeral home.
It does not. I love hyacinths. They're wonderful. They bring back great memories for me.
Good.
All right. We'll see you next week.